Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream. My name is Garrett,
And I'm Kevin.
and we are your lovely co-hosts. Hope you're all having a fantastic week so far. Horror Moore says hi, Kevin.
Hello.
I like the Kabin. It's
It's
very cute.
Ben.
Anyhow, hope you're all having a good week so far. Kevin, how the heck have you been? Sorry, Kevin.
Kevin, yes. It's there's been better. I don't have my car right now because I gotta change the whole AC, and that's gonna cost a lot. But you know what? Has to be done, unfortunately, and that's what you just pick up some extra shifts and just go from there.
Yeah, there you go. Are you able to? You're still able to get? Oh my gosh, you're still able to get to work? Okay.
Yeah, I'm using Nadia's car.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, awesome. My week has just been okay as usual, so nothing really to report. But let's go ahead and get into the stories this week, because we got more than the last couple of weeks to talk about. Up first, Avatar 4 and 5 are to be radically different from Fire and Ash. Reportedly, Disney wants to make them shorter and cheaper so that they're less risky. This follows that the third film did not make as much as the first two did in theaters, which was always going to be the case. You can't just keep putting out the same movie every single year.
Which you'll talk about later on.
Which I will talk about later, because I actually got to watch the movie. So I don't know how that spoils how I feel about it. But I mean, this makes sense. The literally one of the biggest problems of those movies is that they are too long.
Yes.
Like they're near 3 hours long or over 3 hours long, and there's no reason for it. Like, so
it feels like an epic, but it's the same epic three. Well, I haven't seen the third one, but 2 times in a row for me. So,
yep. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the reviews section for the day. But it is, but next up, Kevin.
It's rough. But yeah, next up, Spider-Man Brand New Days is getting some reshoots. It's all additional photography, and nothing truly impacts to the film, according to Tom Holland. I mean, I just can't wait to see it. Just stop and give me these little teasers and let me just watch the movie already. I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all ready for it after that first trailer was really good. They don't need to put out another one.
Nope.
I think they're going to, but they don't need to. Yep, I think that, I mean, Tom Holland basically said that this is all additional photography, adding a little bit of like humor here and there, or just pickup shots, or like, it's not like they're rewriting anything. They're not changing anything about the movie. It's already in a very good place, according to him. So nothing crazy.
Nice. I'm ready.
Speaking of Marvel, Marvel is considering the long-term plans for the X-Men, but director Jake Schreier is only concerned with making the first movie good before thinking ahead, which gives me a lot of hope, because I mean, it's the same director who did Thunderbolts, and that movie was absolutely fantastic. So it makes me excited to hear that he is saying, let's only focus on what's this one. We'll consider long-term later. Just want to make this one as good as possible.
Yeah, so, it's like it's one movie at a time kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the way it should be. And if the fact that a Marvel director is saying this, I mean, it makes sense now, but it should have been said from the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But, anyhow, next up,
Ryan Gosling has left the Daniels' next film due to scheduling conflicts. What was the film going to be about?
No idea yet.
Okay.
Yeah, all we know is that he was attached to potentially be the star of it, but something else has come up, different film where he is unable to work on it.
Okay. So, well, I mean, unfortunate, but maybe fortunate. Maybe somebody lesser known gets that role and kills it. That's all we can hope for.
I mean, a lot of big name people are excited to work with them after them winning the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like there's any bad blood or anything. It was purely because of scheduling conflicts. There's no creative differences or anything. So, we'll know when we hear more about it.
Yeah.
This I am very excited about. Production is set to begin on the Elden Ring movie this week. Oh my gosh! Someone posted a set video. Someone found the set that they took a video of. I don't know if it's fake or not, but if it's real, it looks really good. I think it was verified to be real. It looks just like the game. So
very cool. Love that.
Yeah, I did hear there was an interview that the director Alex Garland, who is the same filmmaker who did Ex Machina and Men, and was a co-director on Civil War, or no, director of Civil War, co-director on Warfare, is the one doing this movie. Apparently, he flew out to Japan to present the movie pitch to From Software, and had like a 160-page script, had like 40 pages of concept art, like just went and just was like, I love your game. I want to make this movie. So that gives me a lot of hope. And this is an A24 film.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be A24's biggest movie since Civil War, which I'm very, very excited about. Speaking of A24 though.
Yeah, speaking of it, is the Backrooms will be an hour and 45 minutes long. James Wan is producing with the Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy. Is he the director as well?
No, he's producing.
Oh, he's producing as well. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously Backrooms is being directed by Kane Parsons, who's the young filmmaker who made the short films.
Oh, he made, yeah.
Yeah. But these are just huge names coming in to produce this film, which is awesome. I mean, we just saw this with another movie we'll talk about a little bit later. It's kind of a similar situation, but I mean, we're all very excited for this movie. We only have another month. So
that's crazy. 1 month and we get this out. So happy for it.
Super excited. Good news for any Extraction fans. The movie's on Netflix. Idris Elba is going to be joining the third movie after a brief appearance in the second film. We also know that Chris Hemsworth is coming back to reprise his role as well. So I have yet to watch these movies. I was planning on watching it potentially this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Sorry, I was just texting.
No,
My
you're
apologies. Good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any of them either, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But next up, the Batman Part 2's working title is Semper Vigilans, right? Okay. Hints that the Court of Owls may be the villain. And if you haven't seen the Court of Owls, they are creepy as hell. So I'm very excited for it because, again, we get the darker version of the Batman, and the Court of Owls is a very dark villain. So
yeah, and they already kind of hinted at that in the last movie. Not that the Court of Owls exists, but that there is this larger, grander political conspiracy behind Gotham, which the Court of Owls is essentially like the Illuminati of Gotham City. And I forget the name of their like owl assassins, the Talons. That's what they're. The Talons are sent out when they need to assassinate someone. So it's really interesting. And if that's the direction they're going,
I'm all for it. All for it.
In a piece of news that makes a lot of sense, Wuthering Heights director Emerald Fennell is in talks to direct a reboot of Basic Instinct. This makes sense because Wuthering Heights, I mean, I have not yet watched the movie. I have the ability to coming up here. And the one thing that movie looked like from the trailer was seductive. And that's like the entire purpose of Basic Instinct. So I think she's just getting roped into doing all these movies about seductive things, and that is A-okay.
Have you seen Basic Instinct, the original?
A very long time ago.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't even seen it, so I have no clue what it's about. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next up.
Yeah, the next up, the director of the short film Portrait of God, who is making it into a feature film, will also be directing the new Blair Witch film. Got to see where it's going though, because 100%. I mean, the Blair Witch film, the first one, is not good, but it serves a purpose in the found footage scene.
It's ahead of its time for sure, and it's the one that kind of set the precedent for found footage movies. We had gotten the terrible sequel, and then there was a reboot that came out years later that was actually supposed to be pretty good from what I heard. But this is, I think, by bringing in someone who is relatively unknown in feature films, is a good way to go, potentially, because that way, if it doesn't go well, they can kind of bury it under the rug. But if it does go well...
If it goes well, it's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. So, but next up, Man of Tomorrow has finished casting all of its major roles, according to director James Gunn. Nice. So all of the heroes and villains that are appearing in the movie have already been fully casted. Nothing else is kind of, being awaited or anything. So, yeah, looks like we're going to be good to go here pretty soon.
Nice.
In terms of production.
Can't wait to see a trailer for this one because it's going to be exciting.
Not even filming yet, so
yeah,
it'll be a minute.
I know, but we can always hope.
Exactly.
And lastly, Bong Joon-ho's next film is called Ally, and it is animated and will be released next year.
I believe it's Ally.
Oh, Ally. Oh,
I think.
Okay. Well, I can't wait because it's animated. So
we've only seen one picture so far, and it's this cute little like pig octopus looking thing, and it looks adorable. So if it's a family friendly animated movie, hey, you know what? He deserves to make a family friendly movie.
Oh my gosh, that does look adorable.
Yeah, let me see if I can actually find the image. Let's see if I can put it on the stream here because it is cute.
Yeah,
there we go. Let me go ahead and just save that real quick. Media assets, overlay. Oh my gosh. This is is it not want to do? Oh, okay. Really? Really, computer? It's gonna make me hold on.
Save it.
Let's see. I have a tool for this. There we go. All right. Here we go. 1 second. There it is. There he is. There's Ally. Look at how cute that is. I think it looks adorable.
I think it does too. Can't wait to see what it is even about, actually. So,
yeah, exactly. Cannot wait. Bong Joon-ho is an incredible filmmaker, so I mean, I have all the faith in the world in him. Apparently, he's been working on this since 2019, so been a while in the tank for sure.
Animation does take a little bit too, so
yeah. Alrighty, that's it for the news this week. We do have another comment here. So, who would you see to be the new Catherine, which is the Sharon Stone character? I'm guessing for Basic Instinct. I don't know. It'd probably be a big name performer. If I had to choose someone based on who Emerald Fennell has already worked with, I would say Margot Robbie would probably be a good fit for that. If I wanted to go with like a different name, I don't want to say Sydney Sweeney. I think she's in too many things right now. I'd say Margot Robbie's probably the biggest bet if I had to place a bet. I mean, I don't know. Depends on what direction they take it to. Like what kind of angle they're going to go with it, and who knows?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I have no clue who this Catherine person is.
I'm sure you've heard that scene where she's like the woman's in the chair and she like uncrosses her legs and kind of shows off what's in between, and it's like, okay, well then never mind.
I literally just know of Basic Instinct. That's all I know.
Well, there you go. Alrighty, but let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out and streaming this week. And up first, Bad Boys Ride or Die is now on Hulu. If you want to check it out, that is where it's available to stream. Beast is now streaming on Netflix. The Boogeyman is now on Hulu, if you didn't get a chance to see that horror film. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle is now on Netflix. Primitive War is now on Hulu after it was supposed to be on there last month and got delayed for some reason, but it is there now. Game Night is now on HBO Max, which is the same directors as the Dungeons and Dragons movie. So that's available now. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is now available on Peacock if you want to suffer through that. Alien Romulus is now on HBO Max. And all three Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser are now on HBO Max. So
good stuff.
Quite a lot of big things coming out this week, which is awesome. But make sure you're always checking back because there's always more stuff that comes out every single week. But let's go ahead and talk about the trailers that came out this week. Kevin, did anything stand out to you?
To be honest, not really anything. Just because, I mean, I haven't seen Devil's Wear Prada 1, so I'm not excited for it because I haven't seen the first one. The Invite looks interesting. I don't know if I would go Oh, I would have to see another trailer, I would say. The Breadwinner kind of looks funny, but kind of not at the same time. And I mean, Exit 8 looks good. I just don't want to see any other trailers because it already looks really good to
You don't
go
want to get
see.
spoiled.
Yeah. But that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Devil Wears Prada 2 just because I like the first movie enough that I think that I do want to go see the second movie in theaters. I'm actually very intrigued by The Invite. The only thing that came to my head is there was a comment on YouTube that also said the same thing. But it's the, I forget which movie it's, maybe it's Bullet Train when Channing Tatum has the cameo. And he's like, is this a sex thing? Like that's all I thought about while watching the trailer. And then I think the Breadwinner looks absolutely terrible. I do not like that comedian at all. Not for any like personal reason. I just think that his humor is really not good.
Who is it though?
Nate Bargatze, I think.
Yeah.
I tried watching one of his like specials because I had heard a lot about him. I tried watching his special, I think with my parents or something, and we turned it off after like 5 minutes. It was just like, this is not good. Like completely emotionless, like no expression whatsoever. You know, like it's cool to have a clean humor comedian, but like, man, you could at least be funny, you know. But watch tickets to the box office, Kevin.
Yeah, the box office. I mean, no surprise here. I don't think of anybody with Super Mario Galaxy movie coming in with 131.7 million. Project Hail Mary still at number 2 with 31.7 million. The Drama, the new A24 movie with Zendaya, is 14.4 million. And Hopper's still coming in. I mean, it's just going to be in the top 5 for another 3 weeks, I feel like. And reminders of him, which shouldn't be on here, with 2.2 million. So,
I mean, it's literally Super Mario Galaxy and Project Hail Mary, and then just whoever else. Honestly, those are the 2 movies that we're going to be leading from the top. Cool to see how Hail Mary's still doing really well. It's literally, I think it crossed over $400 million worldwide this week. So It is one of the highest grossing original films in a long time, which is really big. So I think like Sinners was the last one that made that much money on an original premise.
Nice.
So, yeah. Which is awesome. So, but let's talk about what's coming out this weekend. And up first is You, Me, and Tuscany, which is incorrect grammar. It should have the comma after me. But when a woman crashes at an empty Italian villa posing as the owner's fiancé, she discovers an unexpected romance that may transform her life. This movie has been getting a lot of trailers recently. I mean, I think it looks, for the right audience, it's going to be a lot of fun. I have heard stories, though, from a couple of directors that are trying to make films with like a predominantly black cast, things like Sinners and stuff like that, where their movies are being put on the back burner to see how this performs. And that's really unfortunate that that's still a practice in Hollywood, but who knows? But it does look at least funny enough, lighthearted enough that it'll probably be a success, I would say. It'll probably make its money back and then some. So I've heard a lot of people in my life who are very excited about it. So
nice.
But up after that is Hunting Matthew Nichols. 2 decades after her brother mysteriously disappeared on Vancouver Island, a documentary filmmaker sets out to solve his missing persons case. When a disturbing piece of evidence is revealed, she comes to the belief that he might still be alive. This is a... It's weird. It says it's a found footage horror movie, docudrama, but
what isn't this movie?
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be real. I think it's definitely like its own thing. I feel like I recognize the main actress. I think she was in The Fourth Kind. I want to say The Fourth Kind. Maybe it's the one. No, I guess not. All right. Well, I was wrong. Anyhow, but reviews are kind of down the middle. So if you want to go see it, go right ahead. Up after that is Faces of Death, a movie that I'm very excited about. A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. I think that the premise behind this reboot of the cult video series is really impressive. I think that the storyline itself is really cool and feels very grounded in today's society. Because I've talked to some people who work as content moderators for Facebook and for Twitter and all that, and it is one of the highest turnover jobs where like therapy is mandatory constantly. So I think that this is a incredible way to go about bringing that franchise back. And lastly is Chow, a new anime film. In a world where humans and merpeople exist, Princess Chow gets engaged to a human engineer named Steven. What will become of their romance?
Oh, Mr. Steven.
This looks kind of adorable, not going to lie. Animation looks pretty cool as well. Very colorful, very vivid. So I believe this might be playing limited. So if you want to check it out, it might be a little harder to go see, but might be worth it. Alrighty. And that is going to be it for everything that's coming out this week. But you know what time it is, Kevin.
It's time to review some movies that we watched over.
No.
Oh, it's not.
Remember, we have a new thing we do.
Fidgety.
Flickle.
Flickle.
It's time for Flickle. Before we get into our movie reviews this week, let me go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty, we're going to try and figure out what this movie is based on seconds of footage. So, here we go. I have no idea.
No, me neither. Next one. What the heck? Got the dogs out?
Oh! I think I have an idea.
I have nothing.
Is it A Quiet Place? Yeah, it is.
Oh.
The walking slowly in the house tipped me off to it.
Okay.
Just because.
Oh, and the frequencies are what they can hear. Okay.
Yeah, because they have the short red radio, which is how they end up fixing her hearing impaired or hearing devices.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Alrighty, well that was quick.
That was fun.
Alrighty, but let's go ahead and talk about our reviews this week. So Kevin and I both saw a movie in theaters together.
Yes, we did.
And let's go ahead and talk about that movie real quick. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
Yeah, so it was the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So the movie is all over the place, and it doesn't stick to one story at all. There was no story in this, and I think Garrett would agree with me on saying that as well. But I enjoyed myself watching this. I mean, a fan of the first movie and a fan of Mario and everything like that. I thought it was really good, but it just didn't. The story didn't drive me, and the story didn't do anything for me. It just introduced all of these characters, and that was basically it. I will say animation is on point with this one, but there's also some animation choices inside of the movie itself with like Star Fox and everything. Like, I wish Star Fox was not leaked either. That would have been sick if he wasn't leaked. But the animation choices inside of this movie are fantastic. Like the Star Fox animation, that looks it needs to be an anime. It would be so awesome. But other than that, the person that stood out to me was Bowser Jr. because of his liquid, like paintbrush kind of state. But you see it in the trailer. That's what I'm talking about. I thought that looked really cool and how it flowed really well. Other than that, it's really nothing. But I did want to say, when we were in the theater, there was a person with special needs in our row. And I kept looking over at him because he looked like he was having the fucking best time of his life. And you know what? That just it got some more points for me because of that as well, because it made that kid's like day.
Yeah, I think it's for the right audience. This movie is going to be very much beloved, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just like the first movie was.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at that. spam message from Twitch. Hey, at least we got someone on Twitch.
Hey.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get to me here. Yeah, I did not like this movie at all. I was not very positive about the first movie either. But I at least was able to respect the fact that it was clearly made for fans. Like, that movie felt like it was really in touch with, you know, bringing a faithful version of that movie to fans. This, on the other hand, I want to get some positives out of the way first. The film is absolutely gorgeous. Illumination shows that Illumination is up there with Pixar in terms of how good their movies look. It's incredible looking. It's also got a great supporting cast. The new cast members this time are all good this time around. I think Brie Larson, Benny Safdie, and Donald Glover, especially Donald Glover as Yoshi, all very good. If you're a Nintendo fan, you're eating healthy with this movie. But that's it. That's all the positives I have for this. This movie has me scared for the future because of the fact that it doesn't have a story. It's a loose collection of events tied together by sequences that keep it going. It's clearly a movie made for the TikTok generation, where they can't focus for more than 5 minutes, and they need to have the plot rehashed to them over and over again because they're incredibly, vastly unintelligent. That's not me making fun of like the guy in the audience with special needs who's clearly enjoying it. I'm not making fun of him at all. I'm talking about like the regular people who go in and say it's the best thing ever. The film is dead if those people end up being like, it scares me. But it should be said, I am not a Mario fan. Like, my only Nintendo thing that I'm at all interested in is Pokemon, and I don't get the references. The jokes don't land for me, so the film is just not exciting. I literally had to. I put this in my review. I had to leave for about 5 minutes during the movie because I was having some bathroom issues and
digestional issues.
That was the most my heart rate raised the entire time. So, I just gotta go ahead and get that out of here. This was painful, but like I'm sure the Mario fans are loving it, and I'm happy for them. Don't get me wrong. If you like the movie, please enjoy it. But it just try to understand why it scares someone like me, as someone who's like much deeper into like analysis and why film works. And so anyhow, with that out of the way, it's all good. You got to have things that fill up the worst of the year list. Not just the best. But Kevin has 2 movies.
You watched 8 movies, so we can do 4-1-4.
There you go, 4-1-4-1. But let's go ahead and continue on with my April challenge, which is called And the April Goes To. And the next movie that I watched in this, actually, hold on, we have a comment here. Sounds like Garrett always went into another galaxy with his also went into another galaxy with his. Literally every time I have digestive issues, I travel through the multiverse.
Multiverse.
It is what happens. I wish I could go to a multiverse where I don't have digestive issues, but you take the good with the bad, I guess. So the first movie I checked out is the Best Picture winner from 1928/29, because the way they did it back then, they did 2 a year, which is The Broadway Melody from 1929, which is probably the worst Best Picture winner that I've ever seen. This is coming out at a time where there's obviously not a lot of other films that stand out. The best 2 movies of that year right now that I've seen are a documentary and an experimental film from France. So it's not like there's a whole lot else in competition, right? This movie is apocalyptically bland. It's one of the first movie musicals ever made. So it has songs in it. Can't tell you for the life of me what they're about. Because they're boring and they're forgettable. Like, there's one song that's reused over and over again, which is The Broadway Melody. The performances are lackluster. None of them provide any kind of depth or likability. They just seemingly exist to yell at each other and try to outperform everyone around them. Clearly, this is like a film made like, oh, we can do sound now. Let's try doing this and have them yell at each other. It feels slightly ahead of its time in a few ways. That's where it's getting its points from. Like, this is the first big studio musical. But it just does nothing for an hour and 40 minutes. Nothing to make me excited. Nothing to expand any kind of scope. Like, if you're into like Oscars history and kind of seeing the progression of film history, then watch it like I did. But like, if you're more of a casual moviegoer, or you're not into that kind of movie, don't watch it.
Okay.
So, but next was the Best Picture winner for 2014, which is 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
Starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is in the upcoming Backrooms. I had not seen this movie before, and I watched this, and it's the first time in a long time I just had to sit there for a couple minutes afterward and kind of just sit there alone in silence and kind of decompress with what I had just seen. Like, I've seen films with depictions of slavery and this time period before, and I don't not for a while, and not like this. Like Django Unchained is probably the most recent film that we have watched that has to deal with this time period, but that's a cartoonish revenge fantasy, and even though it has some realistic elements in it. This is a grounded, harrowing tale of survival. Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is one of my favorite actors, who has now become an all-time great for me, playing a free man in the North who is kidnapped and sold back into slavery in the South, and has to live a life as a slave for 12 years. This movie is methodically paced, but none of it feels unimportant or unearned. Every sequence, every transition from scene to scene, every moment feels important and necessary. It's incredible. Chiwetel's performance is amazing as this kind of character who knows that he has to do what he can to survive. So that is going to, maybe you don't stand up to the slave master or the owner in a bad situation, and you just watch it unfold, because if you do, you could just be killed. So it does get very dark. Lupita Nyong'o won an Oscar for her supporting role here, and she's absolutely incredible. Michael Fassbender, who plays the kind of tyrannical slave owner, is fantastic, completely reprehensible character, but plays him amazingly. I do think the film does struggle with a little bit of pacing here and there in the second act, but it's such a minor complaint. Like, I do think that this film should be mandatory viewing in history classes, because this is probably the most realistic and grounded depiction of slavery that I've ever seen. Anyhow, the third movie is The French Connection from 1971. This is the Best Picture winner from 1972. This is definitely a surprise winner in terms of, I didn't think this was a movie that would win Best Picture, but it did. It's a welcome one. It's a grounded, realistic look at an actual police operation that happened in New York, just kind of retold with some more kind of drama and stuff. It's got one of the things I never really talk about in my reviews is how good a film uses its location.
Okay.
This movie uses New York brilliantly. It makes it feel as much a character as the characters themselves. Also, this movie just has one of the best car chase sequences in history, which if you know, they actually were filming the car chase, and it was cheaper to just have Gene Hackman drive the car, and if he hit someone's car in real life, it was cheaper to pay out the insurance than it was to get the permits to close down the street or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and he hit some people. But Gene Hackman, who unfortunately passed away last year, is incredible in this movie, in a role that's very morally ambiguous. He's not really a good guy, but he's not really a bad guy either. He's just as unlikable as he is likable. It's really a really cool role, and steals the show, which he won an Oscar for. Roy Scheider is also really good. Roy Scheider, for those of you who know, played the main character in Jaws, the sheriff. He is here as the partner for Gene Hackman, and he's really good here as well. The feel and tone and the vibe are all perfect. It feels like a 70s film noir, which is awesome. The foot chases, the car chases, everything's so much fun. I would say that I don't necessarily love it on first viewing. I do like it. I think there are times when it feels slow, but that's immediately removed as soon as any kind of chase or anything kicks in. It's also very morally gray, and I think sometimes that can be a little, especially in today's kind of world, it can feel a bit like, man, I'm so tired of seeing this already, right? But it is a very good movie. I will certainly watch it again. I own it, so I will definitely watch it again. But let's go ahead and take a break from Oscar winners and do a movie that I saw in theaters.
Oh.
For the first time, which is The Muppet Movie from 1979. Very big change from the last couple movies. But this is my first time seeing this movie. I'm not the biggest Muppet fan in the world, so I do need to kind of get that out there. I do enjoy the characters, but I'm not like a crazy Muppet fan. This movie works mostly. I think that its road trip feel and explanation of the origin of the Muppets and how they all met is pretty fun. It's the best part of the movie. The Muppets themselves are great, as always, especially since this is when Jim Henson was still alive. So this is the original voices, the original performers. It's fantastic. And it also might be the most of Kermit that I've seen in anything, because he is the main character here. The cameos are also a lot of fun. Mel Brooks is in this movie as a evil German doctor, which is great. Orson Welles is like a movie studio executive. Madeline Kahn, Dom DeLuise. There's so many huge stars of the 70s that are in this. What didn't work for me as much, though, is the whole storyline regarding the frog leg restaurant owner who's trying to get Kermit to be his spokesman.
Okay.
That whole thing is stupid. I would have rather just been a road trip comedy about meeting everyone and have little vignettes with cameos. Would have been even better. But I know you need to have this central conflict that makes Kermit realize the value of his newfound family, but it could have been better than just a guy chasing him. It just didn't make sense. But the song is really great, man. Rainbow Connection is I think it's up there with Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka as one of the best songs ever written for film. It is truly spectacular. Also, the visual effects are still incredible. The fact that there's a shot of Kermit, full body, riding a bicycle down the street is mind-blowing. And I still I've seen videos on how it's done, and I still I don't know, man, that looks like magic. But it's a fun movie. I wouldn't say it's necessarily essential by any means, but it is a fun movie. So
nice.
All right, I'm gonna take a break.
Cool.
And talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about some dragons. So I watched How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, and because I wanted to see all of them. I haven't seen the third one and the second one in a very long time, and I haven't seen this one in probably more than 10 years. So, but this is a little nostalgia for me. So I know some people prefer the second one a little bit better, but this one just hit nostalgia for me. So I put this one a little bit higher. So animation, fantastic. It's just that you can really be in Hiccup's eyes. I feel like some people can see what he's going through and how he just wants to be a part of his family and doesn't want to upset his dad in any way or anything like that. And they do it in a different way than how Disney would do it. I feel like they did it in this kind of way, and it works fantastically. I loved all the dragons, how they all have different names, and it's because they do certain things. But I mean, you're there for the animation, and you're there for the characters, and I'll talk about it again, but the characters just develop even better, I feel like, than some of the Disney characters do with sequels. So I gave it an 88 out of 100, so it's great.
All right. Yeah, I'm one of the people that prefers the second one, so I get what you're saying, definitely. I think the first time I watched these was as an adult, so I definitely watched these kind of late to have that nostalgia, but I totally get what you're saying. All right, let's get back to some Oscar Best Picture winners, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the Oscar Best Picture winner for 1968, which is In the Heat of the Night. And man, oh man, Kevin, this movie is really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. And while I don't think necessarily that the mystery at its core is the most interesting part of it, the powerhouse performances and the kind of overall messaging and metaphor it's going for are what make it as good, or as good as it is, right? The film's success lies squarely on the shoulders of its two main actors, Sidney Poitier, who this is the first time I've seen him in anything, and yeah, he's all that and a bag of chips. He's incredible. But also Rod Steiger, who plays the kind of bigoted police chief who ends up warming up to Sidney Poitier's arrival and presence. There's a lot of different ways that this kind kind of cuts around your expectations. This takes place in the Deep South, and you have expectations for how things are going to go, and it does subvert them, which I was really, really pleasantly surprised by, especially for a movie made during the civil rights movement. It feels extremely valuable for the time that it was made, and unfortunately, in some ways, it still feels relevant. The film is shot incredibly well. Quincy Jones's score is sublime. It has a main theme song that hits, man, and when that theme song hits, it's real good. My only real gripe is the story, like the core mystery. Like there's a murder, and they're trying to solve who did the murder, which like that takes a back seat. And director Norman Jewison specifically places that in the back seat so that he can explore the themes of racism and stereotypes and tolerance and all these kinds of things, which is fine, right? Like the mystery has some interesting aspects to it, but it's not like you're not remembering this movie because of who the killer was or who the victim was. You're remembering because you have a black officer from the North and a racist white officer from the South who have to come to terms and work together to solve a murder. Yeah. And that is what makes this movie so good. It's a fantastic movie, though. I'm so glad that I purchased this when it was on, like, I had a sale or something at, I think Barnes & Noble had like a Criterion Essentials sale. So I got it for like 30% off. Totally worth it. Absolutely love this movie. Would recommend it to pretty much everyone.
Nice.
Let's take a turn, though, and talk about a movie that's not so good, Kevin.
What is that?
Avatar: Fire and Ash. I'm just going to say this right now. I officially do not care about this franchise anymore. And I could care less where it's going. I do not like its characters. I do not like the fact that it's all recycled garbage. So but let's go ahead and talk. I want to talk positives. I do like that this movie includes a storyline that is a romance between the two villains, right?
Okay.
The Colonel Quaritch guy who's in his Avatar body from the second movie enters a relationship with like the evil Avatar tribe leader, and it mirrors Jake in a lot of ways. And I was hoping that was going to lead into something where like he has an epiphany about this planet like Jake did. But no, of course not. That's too deep a writing, right? Also, Varang is the best character. Varang is the evil
Navi
lady we see on the trailers. She's the best part. You know, the line she says about Awa having no dominion. Man, I fell in love. Also, the action sequences are good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the action sequences do get me excited. Like, they are well made. But the problem is that there's another underwater battle in this movie that is so similar to the first movie that I legitimately thought that it was reused footage. It's probably not, but it feels reused because it's like the same designs, the same things. It just feels the same, and because of that, it's anticlimactic. They build this whole thing up to be like this climactic final battle type thing, and we know there's 2 more movies coming. It's not the final battle, but they make it feel like it is. And so all that misplaced emotion and effort goes into nothing. The story is way too spread out. There's too much going on. There's too many different characters. And because of that, it interrupts the flow of things. There's a climactic story happening with Jake. And then right when something crazy is about to happen, it cuts to one of his dumbass kids doing something stupid. And I can care less. And it's just, it's so poorly written. The movie is more concerned about being spectacle to make you go ooh instead of telling you a decent story, and also continuing to like the whole white savior storyline is just getting annoying. But anyhow, it's boring. It drags on for way too long, and if Disney is true about committing to try and make these shorter, like I'm one of those people. I don't care how long a movie is typically. I've had 4-hour movies that are some of the best things I've ever seen, and 90-minute movies that are among the worst. It doesn't matter, right? But I've seen the opposite. Like, if it's a good story, it doesn't matter how long it is, because you should be invested. I'm not invested in this anymore. Like, I went into this hoping to like it. I was super excited for the Fire Tribe. I wanted evil Navi, and you don't get enough of it, and that was really frustrating. There's just more human bullshit. I'm tired of it. Like, it's dull, it's boring, and even though the main Avatar bad girl is really something, she's cool, it's just nothing. I feel nothing anymore. Like,
okay.
the only thing I'm happy about this is that it's getting people into theaters still, which
Okay. Which is good.
happy with that. That is undeniably a good thing. But I just I can't do these movies anymore, man. Like, I'm gonna go see 4 and 5 when they come out, but like, I just do not care about it.
Gotcha.
So sorry if you like it. Hey, you know, go
unfortunately,
not the worst thing I've ever seen, but just very disappointing. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about one of the best movies that I've seen this week.
Yeah, and what was that?
Which is the Oscar Best Winner from 2016, which is Spotlight. And this is the true story about the Boston Globe newspaper's Spotlight team, who was the one that originally dropped the story in 2002 about the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal.
Okay.
And how there were, like, I want to say 60 or 70 priests that were abusing children, and then they would get found out. The church would pay off the parents or whatever, and would then move that priest to a different parish instead of firing them and sending them to jail. And how it was basically this huge racket they had going on. It's an incredible film, and it's an incredible story because it's true. It's brought to life in an incredible fashion because, you know, we don't get enough movies about journalistic integrity. They're vitally important, especially right now with a certain someone. There's a scene in this movie in particular where, you know, they're about to release the story. They're putting the final, like, you know, they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's on writing the story before they release it. And Mark Ruffalo's character is leaning into a church, and they're performing Silent Night. And they're singing in the church. And while that music is playing, is them kind of showing them writing the full story. They're about to drop it. It's incredible. The cast, this is a true ensemble movie. The entire cast is fantastic. Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, Liev Schreiber, Stanley Tucci, among a bunch of others. No one stands out above another on because they're a group working together, just like the real people were. They nail it here. One of my only gripes of this movie is that some of the dialogue gets a bit melodramatic, right? You know, you have some of I mean, I'm sure you've seen this in movies before, like, but you're dealing with a weighty topic about this, and, you know, there's one too many lines of dialogue where it's like, well, why didn't we cover this story sooner? Like, it's our job to tell the truth, like that kind of thing. Like, we get it. That's why we're here. You don't need to restate that several times.
Yeah.
You know, like, there are some emotional reasons they do that in this movie, and I don't want to spoil it. But, like, it makes me roll my eyes. It's like, yes, we know. We don't need to sit here listening to go on about platitude about how journalism is the most important thing. It is. We know that. You know, you need to hold truth to power. But you don't need to say that in character in your movie, you know. But it's a minor gripe. At the end of this movie, it talks about how it's not a spoiler because it was real life and you can research it, but how eventually 600 victims came forward in Boston alone, and then that led to ending up finding cells of the same issue all across the country and all across the world. It was a major, huge scandal for the Catholic Church, and it makes me excited that I'm not Catholic anymore. You know, I haven't been for a long time, but man, there's some evil people.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I would really recommend this movie if anyone wants to watch it. It's a heavy topic. If you're not going to want to watch something with a heavy topic, just be warned, but it is a heavy movie. Alrighty, and that's going to bring me to the last movie for me today, which I just watched today, actually, which is Scream 7, which I had the chance to watch. And I think this is probably the worst movie in the franchise so far, for a couple of reasons. I think that the movie does have some fun kills in it, and the opening is, you know, for lack of a better word, it's pretty fun. The returning cast members are cool, and it's nice to have Sidney Campbell back. It's really about it. Honestly, I think beyond that, I think the film is boring. It feels unnecessary, and the problem is that the film feels rushed. The story feels like a hack job. Like, with the director of the last two films, which are the best in the franchise since the original, since they left, and since Melissa Barrera was fired, and Jenna Ortega left, right? This film doesn't feel like it should exist as it currently is. Like, the story comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't really make sense following a lot of different things. The worst part is I just genuinely do not care for a single one of these characters, like I did with the last one. Like we learned more about Melissa Barrera's character, more about Jenna Ortega's character and their group of friends, and I liked their group. I thought that they were as good a group as the first movie's ones were. But like, then that leads to the reveal of the killers in this movie, and the killers in this movie are probably the worst in the franchise. Their motivation is just asinine. It just doesn't feel that interesting. It makes the entire film feel like a waste of time, in my opinion. I think like for the next one, if they should make the climactic finale, bring back Barrera and Ortega and that group, then still bring back Sydney and Gale and all that, and bring in a better writer, because this movie just wasn't very well written, in my opinion. So I give it a 39. If you enjoyed it, awesome. I know this was probably the highest grossing movie in the franchise so far. They're going to do another one. So if you like it, awesome. For me, I did not like it as much.
Gotcha. That's okay. That's why we watch everything. But our last movie, my last movie for reviewing is How to Train Your Dragon 2. And I just love the world building of this one. The animation is still on point. But the world building of all the other dragons and all of the other people, you have Hiccup going out to all the different islands and mapping it all out, which is fantastic. And then you get to meet Hiccup's mom. Spoiler alert, this is a 10-year-old movie, so there's no spoilers. But and seeing like the alpha dragon and stuff like that, really, it's just so cool about how many different species of dragons they have, and it just makes me want to know more about the world. So I can't wait to watch number 3. I'm just waiting for it to come on streaming somewhere. But again, the action scenes in this one was a lot better, I think, than the first one as well, just because of the whole dragon action scene and the fighting at the end of the movie. Again, it's just beautifully made, but it's still not nostalgic for me, because this is when I watched it when I was older. It was this one. So if it had that nostalgia for me, it'd probably be up there. But still, 86 out of 100, I'll take that all day for me.
It's not far off of the first one, so. All right. But that's going to be it for the movies we watched outside the stream. So let's go ahead and start with the movies we watched for the wheel.
Yes.
Kevin, you're short.
Yeah, my short was My Bunny Lies Over the Sea. And this is a Bugs Bunny goes to Scotland, and he has a golf tournament kind of like a 1v1 before Call of Duty was a thing. And it was really funny. I really liked the different landscape and how different they made Scotland, and the main character of Scotland. I don't think they said his name in there, but the golf tournament was really funny. Again, animation is still on points for this one, but it has just a lot of comedic actions in it, but not a lot of comedic jokes, if that makes sense. So I gave it an 88 out of 100. Still really enjoyed it.
All right. My short, this was rough. 1953 is Ma and Pa. And I just gotta be brutally honest. I think this movie has unappealing characters and animation combined with a story that just feels completely unnecessary. I don't know why this was made. I don't know how. I don't know if these were popular characters at the time or what. But like some of the animation's movement looks cool, and it does remind me of Disney animation a little bit in terms of like character and face design. But honestly, it's just very forgettable. Like I watched this at 5 o'clock today, and I'm like struggling to remember a lot of what happens in it. It's just I don't know. Did not like this one, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
But Kevin, your movie.
Yeah, my movie was called Secondhand Lions. Spoiler alert: the lion's only in here for 10 minutes. Don't know why they would call it that, but it was really. It's like it's a coming of age kind of thing where the boy doesn't really get along with his uncles because they are so different. He's from the city, uncles are from the country, so they do things a lot differently. But eventually, as all I think this was a Disney movie. All movies like that end up and they all get together, they all like each other at the end, and oh, here's my will of how much money I have. Um, Stuff like that. So it was very predictable throughout the whole thing. I knew it was going to happen. Um, and I knew eventually they would all get along. The only thing that I didn't like, they kept going back and forth between a story about one of the uncles and his wife, uh, and it would just pop into the middle of the story. I wish I would have just run with it and then come back to present day, because you would be like, oh, one of the uncles is in the hospital, so tell me more about that story, and it'll just pop back into the story, and it's like, what? To be honest, I kind of forgot what actually happened, like at the beginning of the movie, at the beginning of the story. So if it would have just flowed a little bit better, I think it would have been better, but it's still very predictable. But 62 out of 100, still really good.
Okay. And my movie this week was 1992's Radio Flyer, which this movie makes an admirable attempt to combine a childlike fantasy, childlike whimsy, with the kind of darker themes that come up in the movie. I do think that while the child actors do a commendable job, the film does get lost in some conflicting things. But like I said, the performance here are really good. Elijah Wood and Joseph Mazzello are really good child actors here, which is, for me, is
That's
for
positive right
that,
there.
that's pretty positive praise. And like they do tend to get a little annoying here and there. I'm not a guy, I don't like kids. Like they're mostly fantastic. Like just the way they work with each other, they have great chemistry. I do think the movie is good on this front. The parents are also really well performed, and it makes the other less admirable parts of this movie a tad better. But I think the biggest problem with this movie is its conflicting tone. This does not feel like it's made for a particular audience. On one hand, it's very childlike, it's whimsical. They're trying to build an airplane out of their radio flyer wagon so that they can escape from the stepfather. And the darker part of the story comes in because the stepfather is abusing the younger brother physically, not like any kind of it's still bad, but like not kind of
the other way,
not like Spotlight. But like, because that it gets a little too dark at times. So it's, on one hand, it's really dark story of abuse and kind of like the need to get away from it, but then it's also really childlike and whimsical and like, oh, we're going to build this plane with the wagon. And so I do think it's at odds with itself, and it doesn't feel like it's made for any particular audience. And so in that regard, it's made for no one, which is, and it's an admirable attempt to try and do that. And it definitely feels different. And I think that's why it got made, but it's just, it's, I don't know, it's very off. Also, the way that it deals with abuse, it kind of feels detached and really watered down. I feel like if you're going to go dark with this subject and explore it in a way that's meaningful, it should be meaningful. And here it just feels like they gloss over it and they hide the parts that are truly bad. I mean, obviously, you should know that it's bad, but like it could have explored it a little bit in maybe some creative ways, but it just doesn't. It's just very watered down, very lackluster in its approach from a director who's very good, Richard Donner. It's not something I would have seen otherwise. So I do need to thank whoever picked it and the wheel for giving it to me. But I just, it's too conflicted. It doesn't know what it wants to be. So,
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We got some comments here. They made 5 Ma and Pa cartoons in total. That's crazy because I don't know how even this one got made, because I just thought it was very unappealing. I saw, because in Radio Flyer, saw it as an escapism for kids, hence the fantasy in real life kind of be relatable. It made sense to me, but what do I know? And sure, if you want to see it that way, I think that the other parts of it are just too dark for it to be a kids movie. I really don't think that this is made with kids in mind. I think it is made for more of an older audience and maybe like the child at heart. But if that's the way that you interpret it, it's not wrong. It's awesome that you see it that way. I think for me, it was just a little too conflicted in what it was trying to be.
Gotcha.
So, Alrighty, but let's go ahead and get to
our favorite part, which is
the whole stream's our favorite part.
I mean, that's true, but which is the wheel gets to pick our fate, but it's good fate because we're not doing Fear Factor or anything like that. We're just watching movies.
Yeah, thank God we're not doing Fear Factor. But go ahead, if anyone has any suggestions to add to the wheel, let's go ahead and get those on there. Nadia says The Craft. I do not think that's on our list already, so let me just double check. Nope, The Craft. I don't know if Kevin has seen that.
I have not. That's why it's on there.
Joey says Blue Streak from 1999. I'm just going to double check the year on The Craft real quick. Nadia.
Make sure there's not 2 or anything.
Is The Craft from 1996? I'm guessing it's the one with.
It's the witches.
Yep. Okay. Cool. I mean, I'm interested. You know, I'll take witches all day long. Hey, it's got Nev Campbell in it. And Skeet Ulrich.
Damn.
And Breckin Meyer.
Damn.
Wow. All right. 90s. Okay.
Stacked.
So it's 1996. Alrighty. I actually kind of want to get that one then. It's got very highly rated on Letterboxd. It's got a 3.6.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We'll give about another minute. Kevin, what are you looking for? What do you want to get this week?
I'm just looking at our things right now. That's on the side here. Here.
Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
I mean, that would be cool to get. I would like to get your pick this week. Oh, I have to pull up my thing just in case. So that's what I'll be doing.
As for me, I really don't care. Anything really. As long as I have time. I have a lot of homework to do this week, so not looking forward to that. But you know, what are you gonna do?
You got to make it work somehow, right?
You gotta do it. I also got to do my challenge. You know. Actually, how far along am I in the challenge? Let's see here. I know I'm ahead. Yeah, I'm at 10 movies that are Oscar winners, and we're on the 8th. So I am 2 ahead. As long as I can stay ahead, we're good.
Good.
Probably have to watch multiple on like Sunday or something. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do some wheel spinning. We're going to open up the wheel of shorts. We're going to shuffle this bad boy up. Are you ready, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm just looking just in case I get picked.
Well, pay attention because it's time for your spin. Round and round it goes. Where it ends, only the wheel knows. Kevin's pick is...
What is it?
The Screwy Truant.
Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
Nope, me neither.
Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and change that real quick. The Screwy Truant. Give that a G. We're going to shuffle this up and we'll get it to my short.
What will your short be?
Who knows? Only the wheel does. Oh, and it is a G1. Charade. That's the one Kevin watched like a week or 2 ago.
Yep.
You have to let me know where you found it so that I can...
I found it on Daily Motion or whatever it's called. I just typed it in.
Daily Motion is good for a lot of like shorts that are hard to find for sure. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to the Wheel of Movies. And Kevin, let's get you your movie.
I'm ready.
Spinning.
Spinning it.
What's it gonna be? Only the wheel knows. And it is going to be... That's not something you can watch.
Nope.
So we'll respin it. I still have to watch the Toxic Avenger, all the different versions of it. And Kevin's movie is Failsafe.
Failsafe.
Let me look it up on Letterboxd real quick. Failsafe is... Ooh, I am jealous.
Oh, a thriller war movie?
Yeah, with a 4.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, it is the 189th highest rated film.
Okay.
Oh boy. Because of a technical defect, an American bomber team mistakenly orders the destruction of Moscow. The President of the United States has but little time to prevent an atomic catastrophe from occurring. Holy moly, I am so jealous.
Okay, I'm down for this. See, again.
I'm going to go ahead and add this back to the list with my name on it. Alrighty, let's shuffle this up, and we'll get mine. Alrighty. Let's see what it is. And it is a Kevin pick, so I can't do that.
I can't do that.
Reshuffle. You know, it's interesting. We both had to respin. I feel like that hasn't happened for a while.
No, it has not.
There's something wrong with the children.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's something wrong with the children. This is a 2023 movie, I'm guessing.
I believe so. Let me see, because I think I reviewed it. So
I think was this a Nadia pair? Okay.
Yes, 2023.
Interesting. Okay. I just one of the top reviews on Letterboxd is "I hate children." Actually, no. The top review on Letterboxd for my the people that I'm my friends or connections list is just kick the little shits. What the hell are you waiting for?
I mean, not wrong.
Alrighty, I'll get that added to my list. So let me go ahead and remove that. We'll shuffle this up and save. Alrighty, so that's what Garrett says to all the children. All the children except for my niece. She's precious. But that is going to be it for the show. So Kevin will be watching the short, The Screwy Truant, and then we'll be watching the film Failsafe, which I gotta say I'm really jealous of. I'll be watching the short film Charade, which Kevin watched a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And I'll be watching the 2023 horror film There's Something Wrong with the Children. So those are our movie assignments for this week. But make sure that you are subscribed, because we have our show Movie Club, which comes out every single Friday, which this week we are continuing our month-long look at covering Best Picture winners, which is actually matching up with my challenge. But this week we are covering the 2017 Best Picture winner, Moonlight, which we both haven't seen before, so we're really excited to talk about it for the first time. That'll be coming up on Friday, so make sure you're subscribed. And of course, this show goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen. Have a good night, everyone.